Most people will never become rich, not because they do not work hard and not because they are not intelligent, but simply because they do not understand the financial game. Money is not just a paper note or numbers in your bank account, but a system with special rules. And those who do not understand the rules lose the game before it starts. Robert Kiyosaki, the famous businessman and author of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, was one of the people who revealed the secrets of this game and explained why most people remain poor even though they work all their lives, and why the rich become richer even while they are asleep. In this video, we will show you 7 golden rules that Kiyosaki considers the foundation for building wealth and achieving financial freedom. If you understand them and apply them, you will not look at money the same way again. All right, you can click the like button because this video will make you think twice before making any future financial decision. Now, let us begin. First, own assets, not liabilities. Have you ever wondered why some people work for many long years and yet end up bankrupt or drowning in debt? Because, as Robert Kiyosaki said, the rich buy assets while the poor buy liabilities, thinking they are assets. Assets are the things that put money into your pocket every month without the need for extra work, like rented real estate, projects that work without your involvement, intellectual property rights, or even books and training courses you sell online. Liabilities are the things that pull money from your pocket continuously, like loans, bills, and luxury purchases that add no financial value to you. Many people think that owning a luxury car or a huge house is an investment, but in reality, it is a financial drain because it does not bring you any money. Instead, it costs you taxes, maintenance, and insurance. On the contrary, the financially smart person asks himself, will this thing make me receive money or will I pay money for it? If you want to be rich, start by owning assets that generate you recurring income. Even if you start with small projects like renting an extra room in your house or investing your skills to create an online income source. And always remember the golden rule. Buy the assets first. Let these assets bring you money. Then buy what you want. This is the golden triangle of financial success, where you do not start by spending money on luxuries, but make your money work for you first, then enjoy the returns later. Owning assets is the first step, but how do you know which assets are worth investing in? This leads us to the second rule. Second, understand the market before you play the game. Most people think that building wealth depends on luck, but the truth is that successful people do not enter any field without understanding it deeply. Before you invest your money in any project, you must understand the market in which you work. Know its needs, understand the competition, and identify the opportunities you can take advantage of. The rich do not jump into any tempting opportunity they see. They ask themselves, do I understand how this field works? Do I have enough information to make a sound financial decision? Imagine you decided to open a cafe in an upscale neighborhood without studying the needs of the market, just because you saw cafes thriving in other cities. After 6 months, you find yourself closing the cafe, not because people do not prefer a special experience, but simply because you did not understand how to price your products. You did not study the operating costs. You did not know the types of coffee your customers prefer, and you did not realize the importance of choosing a strategic location. This is not failure because of the market, but because of not studying it well before starting. In contrast, the financially educated person researches, observes, asks, and maybe works in the same field for a period before investing his money in it. One of the most famous examples of this is businessman Sam Walton, founder of Walmart, who used to spend his time studying customer buying behavior before opening his stores, which allowed him to build a huge empire. So before you invest, learn how to play the game. Otherwise, you will be just a new number in the losers list. Third, Forget the salary and profits. Work to learn. If you think the job is the solution to building your wealth, you need to rethink the matter. Salaries are designed to keep you alive, not to make you rich. The problem is not in work itself, but in the mentality that makes you depend on salary as the only source of income. Robert Kiyosaki always says, salary is the biggest addiction in the world because it makes people work for money instead of making money work for them. The difference between the rich and the rest of the people is that the rich work to acquire skills, while the rest work only for money. A job may give you a fixed income, but it often does not teach you how to invest, how to manage a project, or how to achieve financial freedom. That is why most people stuck in the rat race cannot get out of it, because they simply did not acquire any real skills that help them build independent income. Think of it this way. A person working as a sales employee in a startup company may not get a high salary, but learns selling, negotiation, and understanding customer needs. On the other hand, another person works in a government job with a fixed salary, but learns no new skills. After 5 years, the first can launch his own project or double his income, while the second still depends on the same salary. If you want to escape this trap, do not think of the job as only a source of income, but as a way to gain skills that will help you build your own wealth. Whether you are an employee or an entrepreneur, do not work just to earn money, but work to gain experience and knowledge that will push you forward. This does not apply only to jobs, but also to entrepreneurship. If you start a new project, do not think of making profits during the first months. Instead, invest this time to learn, even if you are an expert in the field. Establishing your project will face you with new challenges: how to manage expenses, how to deal with customers, how to market your product. These matters require you to consider the first period of your project as a learning and testing stage, not a profit stage. Fourth, the importance of cash flow. Most people focus on the amount of money they have in the bank, but that is not what really makes you rich. Robert Kiyosaki always repeats, true wealth is not in the bank balance, but in continuous cash flow. In other words, it is not important how much you own now, but how much money flows into your pocket every month without working for it. Think about it. Why are there people who earn thousands of dollars but collapse financially after a period? Because their income depends only on work and they have no sustainable cash flows. On the contrary, there are people who achieve wealth because they built financial systems that work for them, like rental properties, automated businesses, returns from investments, and others. The important thing is that cash flow gives you real financial security because it allows you to pay your expenses without worry and provides you with liquidity to invest in new opportunities. If you depend only on your salary, you are in a very fragile situation because any crisis or emergency may make you start from zero. That is why you should ask yourself, does money flow to you regularly even while you are asleep? Or do you work for every dollar you earn? Fifth, the bank profits from you. Stop leaving your money idle. If you put your money in a bank account and think you are saving for the future, think again. Robert Kiyosaki says clearly, the rich do not keep their money in banks, they make it work for them. The reason is that inflation makes the value of money erode over time. If you leave your money stagnant in a bank account, you are in reality losing your purchasing power year after year. Imagine you have $10,000 in the bank, and after 5 years, prices have gone up. The same amount will only buy you half of what it used to, while your money was sleeping and its value decreasing. But the bank uses it to lend to others and makes huge profits from it. The alternative? Do not keep your money frozen. Make it work for you. Invest part of it in assets that give you monthly returns. Put another part in investments with continuous growth. And keep a certain percentage as cash liquidity for emergencies. But do not leave everything without movement. Money that does not move dies. Sixth, understand the system, how the rich pay less taxes. Most people work to earn money, then pay taxes first, then spend what remains. But the rich do not do that. Robert Kiyosaki says, "The rich do not avoid taxes, they understand the laws and benefit from them." Governments around the world provide incentives for those who invest in the economy, like business owners, real estate investors, and entrepreneurs. The ordinary person, before receiving his salary, has taxes deducted from it, then uses what is left to pay his bills. But the financially smart person puts his money in projects and assets first and uses the income from them to cover his expenses in legal ways that reduce his taxes. For example, if you are an employee, taxes are deducted before you get your salary. But if you own a company, you can pay necessary expenses like rent, travel, and operating costs before calculating taxes, which lets you get the maximum benefit from your money and reduces the amount you pay to the state. This is one main reason the rich prefer to establish companies and invest instead of relying on a job salary. If you want to become rich, you must learn the financial laws and how to use them to your advantage, just like the rich do. Seventh, your network is your real wealth. Robert Kiyosaki said it clearly. If you want to know your financial future, look at the people you surround yourself with. The environment you live in and the people you interact with daily have a direct effect on how you think and make financial decisions. If you are surrounded by people who only think about spending money on luxuries, it is natural you will find yourself following the same path. But if you surround yourself with successful people who think about investment, self-development, and building their own projects, you will automatically adopt the same mindset. Imagine you sit with 5 people who talk daily about financial opportunities, investments, and ways to generate income. Even if you have no experience, you will learn a lot and start seeing things differently. They exchange their experiences and mistakes to save time and avoid repeating the same errors, which gives them speed in progress and growth. In addition, they all have the same hunger for making money, so one can support the other, whether through investment partnerships, joint funding, or even sharing opportunities that could be beneficial for all, making them grow together faster and stronger. But if you spend your time with people who only care about salaries, discounts, temporary offers, and empty celebrations, it is hard to see beyond that. Look at any successful businessman, and you will find he has a strong network of advisors, partners, and investors. Success is not just an individual effort, but the result of continuous interaction with the right people. If you learned something new today, do not forget to click the like button and share your opinion with us in the comments. Which of these rules did you already know? And which one will you start applying immediately? And share this video with your friends so the benefit spreads. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel, because we have more valuable upcoming videos that will help you reach the top. See you soon.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video.